Hello again and welcome back to another one. And today we have a couple of topics to cover, from one that shows Joe Budden straight up sneak dissing Eminem in reaction to the leaks and the news that showed the feds charged Joe Strange for selling songs for $50,000 in Bitcoin, and we'll expand on this in a moment. Today we also have more from Tyler the Creator, who was speaking about the quote iconic Eminem merch from the Eminem Show era, and this has sparked some interesting exchanges when it comes to what fans expect moving forward in the future. And today we also have an update on the feud between 50 Cent and Rick Ross, as we got an update from 50 that answers some of the questions that Rick Ross brought up after he got roasted a few weeks ago by 50. And before we get to it, we got some latest milestones for Eminem, like Houdini for instance hit 600 million streams on Spotify just hours ago, which is not bad for a man that they claim hasn't had a hit since 2002. And on a side note, it is quite hilarious how people make fun of Drake fans for staying salty months after Not Like Us and the battle with Kendrick Lamar, but Drake fans are taking baby steps compared to a certain fan base, as we still see this level of cope on Renegade decades after the fact. As time passes, I think his verse is better than M's, and this was met with thousands of reactions like, "You trying to rewrite history," and more people want to rewrite history so bad. Eminem washed your goat. Just accept it and move on. Now this has been going on for decades, yet people act surprised that Drake fans struggle to move on from things that just happened months ago. And starting with the main topics today, we got Tyler the Creator and Nadwa talk about a quote iconic merch from the Eminem Show era. Check out a snippet that made its way to social media.
Eminem, urinal mat.
Yep, urinal mat. I was there with Haji and all the guys. This is from the Eminem Show. I believe this album came out May 28th. I think it was originally scheduled for June 3rd, but because of the leaks, I think Interscope pushed it up. So was it May 23rd or May 28th? It was something like that.
It's amazing you remember that.
Yeah.
And it hasn't been used. It's totally pristine. But what I would think is you have your own urinal mat now.
I do.
Yeah, could you explain about that? Was it inspired by the Eminem urinal mat, maybe?
Oh, the green stuff at the things, yeah. Again, venues are super festive, which I like, and they really went all out for it. And it was a shade lighter than the Chromacopia green, but it was sweet, and people could pee in style, just whip their dicks out and just pee in style.
I loved it. It was sort of like an allusion, possibly, at least I thought, to 2011.
No, yeah, I love... Wow, what a great album.
And this sparked reactions like, so when we gonna get that Eminem and Tyler collab? Cause Ish would go absolutely insane. And in my opinion, I don't see it happening, although I could be wrong, because from where I stand, Tyler the Creator is pretty much the poster child of the whole narrative that new Eminem's music is bad. He was at the forefront of that narrative a few years ago, but fans remain hopeful. Tyler's been talking about M a lot recently. I hope M works with him so we get a fire collab, folded hands emoji. And some have expanded. He still loves Eminem, it is just his newer stuff he ain't a fan of. To which a user expanded, more than just newer. Tyler publicly dissed M for Recovery, MMLP2, Shady 15, and Revival. And he likely only stopped because M said what he did on Kamikaze. And this is why, in my opinion, Kamikaze was a very important album in Eminem's discography. It was a lot of people who felt they could just say anything, and they would have pretty much turned him to a legit punching bag in hip-hop if Kamikaze never released. And better yet, the aftermath of what happened to MGK has acted as a deterrent ever since. And while some believe that he apologized, another user expanded. Unfortunately, he didn't actually apologize. He said he understood why M was upset about it. Thing is, he doesn't get that what M is/was upset about were the MMLP2, Shady 15, and Revival disses, since those were the ones that came out after M had, quote, been cool to Tyler and his group by publicly praising them, hanging out with them, and having them open for him on tour. Also, if Relapse is considered newer, then Tyler does actually like some new M. Relapse was pretty much the beginning of new M. But overall, what are your thoughts? Are you hopeful for a collab in the future? Share your thoughts below. And moving on to the next point, since Rick Ross was trying to clown 50 Cent for the G-Unit Studios, calling it a graphic render rather than a real thing.
Look, I can't really show you all this at the request of Architectural Digest, but it's a difference between renderings and when it's really going down. And it's a difference between real estate, let's say in Louisiana, and over here where it's $6,400 per square foot.
We got new reports that hit a few hours ago. 50 Cent secures a 30-year lease agreement in Shreveport, Louisiana for his G-Unit Studios film and television company. And some are asking, where's Rick Ross now? And more on this note, this is big for Louisiana job-wise. And 50 took to IG to gloat. He posted this: all roads lead to Shreveport, time to work. If you owe me, I'ma need my money back. Eyes emoji. It is cool. Today is Thursday. You got time? I'ma need that by Monday.
All roads lead to Shreveport. Yeah, man, we gonna give it to the jury, man. We gotta get to the money now. It's time to get to the money. You see, I got that hole in my sock. I'm hungry again. I'm hungry. Got to get to it now. Let's go, man. Straight to Shreveport like this. I'm gonna get me one of these cigars. I'm gonna sit there. We're gonna get us something to smoke, relax. And I'm gonna think about who lost the money. Cause I'm gonna get that money. I'm gonna go to Shreveport and we're gonna do it. What in the puffy? What the fuck?
And clearly, if rap didn't work out, 50 would have done well as a stand-up comedian, as we've seen time and time again. And he also posted this: Mayor Asino and city leaders sign G-Unit lease agreement, and more officials share high hopes with 50 Cent involved in Shreveport film industry. And 50 added the caption, Shreveport is the new wave, I'm telling you, I'ma turn it up now. And moving on, we got the Joe Budden podcast react to the leaks that led to federal charges for Joe Strange just days ago. And as you'd see, we got another clear case of Joe Budden sneak dissing Eminem on the podcast, although in this case, it was certainly not sneaky enough, as you'd see when we get to the reactions. Check out a snippet from the podcast.
Yo, it's a whole black market for that. It exists. I've seen it. They do group buys where they'll set the price dumb high and everybody pitch in. You know, they'll put a little something out to just show you I do have these songs, that is real. It's hundreds of thousands of dollars on the line, and it'll be a group of people. All right, we all put up whatever.
How much money you made from that?
I haven't. I was tempted, but loyalty. I might get this Glass House album off, but I wouldn't do it. I was tempted. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I was joking on Twitter, and I was like, yo, $250K, I'll do it. They was like, yo, if somebody hit me, like, if you serious, we can get in a group buy and get about 400. I was like, ugh.
I think it's odd because the number that they said was $50,000. That don't really seem like enough.
I've seen one track on there go for 6 figures. Because again, it's a pool of people putting the money together, and then it's just Bitcoin purchase and shit like that.
Starving engineer?
Yeah.
With all the credits that he's got, he can make more than 50 grand.
My kid can't eat these tracks.
So y'all people that do that, hit me so I can tell you how much you're gonna get for some of these artists y'all stealing. They sitting here just trying to have like a cool talk. I'll get you to save some time. Yo, man, got this new such and such. Nigga, you could have put that back in the computer.
Don't nobody want that shit.
Let's make sure that you're stealing the music of a desirable act.
You spent $17.99 on that flash drive.
Don't nobody want that bullshit.
Fucking, you should have bought some motherfucking Five Guys with that money.
Yeah, you come in the barbershop trying to sell the wrong Ali Vegas, nigga. Shout out to Ali Vegas. I'm just saying, in 2025, you trying to...
Nah, you're right. You got that right.
Use my name. You trying to sell some Joe Budden. Hold up now, though. Hold up. Don't play too much now.
I got a nice
little 30... I might could sell some Joe Budden.
I got a nice unreleased 36-pack Joe Budden.
Oh, my Lord.
Oh, for real? Swear to God. Free.
How much y'all think y'all could sell an Eminem track for today in Newark?
You wouldn't sell it in Newark, but it ain't gonna go for much if you were trying to sell it on the street. I'm gonna keep it a buck.
Okay.
And in response to the snippet, some users have expanded Joe Budden with a last-minute sneak diss. And more on this note, welp, it is about to be another diss track about Joe Budden, laughing emoji, to which a user expanded, I had to re-listen, but I heard the shade, lol, he think he's slick, lol, but it was pretty obvious, in my opinion, on first listen. And in 2025, where all these transactions happen on the web, you'd have to wonder why they are talking about Newark like it is relevant in the grand scheme of things when it comes to internet transactions like these, like the highest bidder could reside anywhere. Like, that's the whole point of the internet. And on this note, some have expanded. Joe Budden leaked track wouldn't even get $2 in your work. And perhaps he missed the reaction videos to Smack You, and some have expanded on this note. The track Smack You got more reaction and views than Joe Budden's biggest hit, Pump It Up. So I don't know what the sneak dissing was about, since this was a transaction that happened on the internet, and he is out there bringing up new work like it means anything. And I found an exchange to be quite hilarious, because it is clearly coming from someone who knows nothing about the case. Check it out. I hope this is just a ploy and Eminem intended the leak. Dr. Dre said on Jimmy Kimmel 2025, the year of Eminem leaks, because I love Eminem, but his albums have been trash. He has to cater to a certain fan base, so his features are incredible. The one he did with LL Cool J or Nas, but those leaks showed me Eminem's still a real one, in that he makes the most effed up comedy songs and never releases them, and that Ja Rule Should Night Diss would be the most talked about diss for 20 plus years if he'd release it at that time. And to this, a user expanded: "You're just a hater, not gonna lie. Stop acting like you're a real M fan. You may like some of his songs, but you are not an actual fan. There's a difference between being a fan of a couple of songs and being one for an artist. Kamikaze, Music to be Murdered By, and the death of Slim Shady were dope. You may not agree, but to call them trash is objectively wrong and shows that you are ignorant and biased. You seem to think since he's not sonically in his prime anymore, he's immediately trash. That's a goofy mindset. Dude's lyrical ability is still top notch and has gotten even better. That's a fact with evidence, not a biased opinion. But perhaps it is time that most of these people just come clean and admit that they were fans when it was cool to like the rapper in the mainstream. So they were just pretty much riding the wave at that time, and there's nothing wrong with riding waves if that's your thing. But to say the new music is complete trash is quite the stretch, when the raps have mostly gotten better, in my opinion. But over to you guys. Share your thoughts below in the comment section. And what are your thoughts on Joe Budden sneak dissing Eminem's music, talking about the streets when we are in the era of the internet? Share your thoughts below, like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and see you on the next one.